This is Chapter 16, Exercise 16A in the Getting to Know ArcGIS textbook, third edition, and we are on page 536. And what we're going to do here is we're going to look at how to join tables. Joining tables is when they have a common field, and you use that common field to match up a row in one table with a row in another table. And the first thing we need to do is let me see, I've already opened, well, I've tried to open 16A, and there is nothing associated with 16A, so it doesn't actually mention that yet. So um, let's go to number 1 on page 536. To examine the results of the food desert locator study, open a web browser, browse to that given address, and enter locator. So I'm going to do that. So I've typed in the URL up there, www.ersusda.gov/data/food desert, and um, and we want to click on the locator. Let me see. Click enter locator. So I'm looking for that. And maybe it's enter the map because I'm not seeing enter locator here. So we'll try clicking on that and see what we end up with. And I'm thinking this is probably similar to the one on the top of page 537. And it's not exactly the same, but it looks pretty similar. If you look at the green boxes here representing counties, I assume, and you compare it with the ones in the textbook with the pink boxes in the textbook, looks like it's pretty similar. So number 2 says on the locator, click any pink square, or in our case, green square, and scroll through the pop-up box. Okay, so there's a pop-up box. Let's actually go here and let's go to Iowa. Let's zoom in a little bit. And I hope we can pan with this. And yes, we can. And so here is Iowa. And it looks like there's a food desert right here. Let's click on that. And that's Calhoun County, Iowa. And so LI and LA. Let's see, show details. Let's click on that. Is a low income tract, is a low access tract. So that's what LI and low A stand for. Okay. And now we're on the bottom of page 537. Click the About the Locator tab. And I'm not seeing that. About the Atlas. Maybe that's the one. Click on About the Atlas. And read the sections titled Overview and Objectives. And okay, so here's Overview. And how is food desert defined? So I'm going to pause this and do a little bit of reading here. Okay, let's move on to page 230 or 538 rather, and number 4. Start ArcMap, and let's flip back over to ArcMap and open 16A. And we have Wisconsin census tracts and we have states. However, my links are broken here, so I'm going to right click on this, and we want to get this fixed. So I'm hoping the data is available out there in the data folder. So let's go to data and let's go to repair data source. And so let's hope there is a file out there called Wisconsin Census Tracts, and there's a file out there called states. And let me see. So I am in, let me see, I want to be on my C drive. And my files are in srepress here, and again, you know, ArcGIS, and we're on chapter 16, so I'm going to click on that and click on OK. And so now let's look at data and see there is a Wisconsin GDB geodatabase, and I want Wisconsin tracts, and I want US states. So I'll just click on Wisconsin tracts because that's the one I have selected now. Click on add, but usually it fixes the other one here as well. So now it should give me the states, and we should see a map getting drawn here pretty quickly, I think. There we go. And so that's similar to the one that we see in the book. We'll just move Wisconsin over here to the center. Now I want to open the attribute table of the Wisconsin census tracts and examine the information stored there. So let's right click, and we want to go to our attribute table. And there is an FIPS tract here, and that is a number that uniquely identifies an item on a map, and it is, I think, Federal Information Processing Standard. Yeah, I just looked that up, and it is Federal Information Processing System or Processing Standard. And this is identifying a census tract. And you can see here where some of the numbers are coming from. There's a 2-digit state number. Wisconsin is state number 55. The county is 079. Those are the next values, and then the tract is 02170. And we'll make this a little wider, and it appears this is a numeric field because it is right aligned, even though everything that it's made up from is left aligned. So that's important when you're doing a join, because the data types have to be the same. You can't match up a text field with a number field. It doesn't work. Okay, so now we found that column they asked us to look for, and now we're going to close the attribute table. That's number 6 on page 539. And now let's go to number 7. Start Excel and open the food desert data from our data folder. So I'm going to start up Excel. So when I open up Excel, this is what I get. I want to open another workbook, so click on Open Other Workbooks here and browse. And again, my stuff is on my C drive, so I need to go to my computer down here and go to the C drive and go to srepress and go to Getting to Know ArcGIS, and then go down to chapter 16 here. And under data, I'm looking for this food desert data spreadsheet, and open that up. And now we're on the top of page 540. And it says scroll down through the rows of data. Notice that the spreadsheet includes data for all 48 continental states. Alaska and Hawaii were not included in the study. So if you scroll, you can see we got a little scroll bar over here. It's not very big, but if you hit the and key and then the down arrow, it'll take you to the bottom row. And so we have 6,501 census tracts. And now it says scroll back to the top, so I'm going to do a Control Home to get back to the top. And now scroll across and examine the column headers. And so these are my column headers. If we want to know what these mean, a lot of times these are kind of cryptic because they're so short. but it says if you go down here and look at variable lookup, it will give you a description of what all of those are. Okay, click the README tab here to get some more information about it, and then let's go back to our data tab. And we can, looks like we can close Excel. Now we're on number 11 on page 540. In ArcMap on the standard toolbar, click the Add Data button. We want to go to the Data folder and we want to click that spreadsheet. So let's go and we want to go to the Add Data button right here. And let's click on our arrow. Actually, I guess we can just click on the plus sign here. And because we want the default add data. And now what we want to do is we want to find that spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet is right here, and click on add. And the one we want, so there's 3 worksheets in there, and apparently, but the one we want is the data worksheet. And so now we're going to add that. Now this is just a plain old data file. It's nothing special for GIS at all. There's not any latitude or longitude information in it. However, there is some data in there that we can use to match up. So let's right click on this and choose open. Now we're on page 542 and I want to scroll down, and it says there are often several tracks per county. So we got the county name over here, and yeah, it looks like there are multiple entries per county. Now we're on number 14. We want to right click tract FIPS, which is this right here, and click freeze unfreeze column. After well, that was interesting, it just disappeared on me. So we want to freeze the column, and then we want to scroll all the way to the right. So let's scroll to the right here a little bit, and looks like we have seniors on the end. Then close the table. And in the ArcMap table of contents, we want to right click on Wisconsin census tracts here, and we're going to do a join. We're going to take tables from 2 different tables, and we're going to match them up using a common field. And now I want to click on joins and relates, and then I want to click on join. Now we're on number 16 on page 543. In the upper portion of the join data dialog box is the first drop-down list. In the first drop-down list, make sure join attributes from a table is selected. In the first entry box, click the drop-down arrow and click FIPS track. Okay, so we want FIPS tract here, and then in number 2 here, we want to make sure we've got our data table selected, and then go to box 3 and make sure the tract FIPS field is selected, and that is, this specifies tract FIPS as the common attribute in the food desert table. So now we've told it, we started with Wisconsin census tracts. Obviously that's one of the things that's going to be joined. Then we have to tell it what else we want to join it to. In this case, it's a spreadsheet. It doesn't have to be a spreadsheet. It could be a number of other different file formats. Now number 18. In the join options section, you will want to keep all the records, so maintain the default setting. So right here, we're going to keep all the records. And you can click on validate data here. And what that will do is it will tell you if, usually it'll let you know if you've done a match correctly. Okay. And it looks like we did not match all of them. Okay, click on OK. And that's probably a good place now.